I've been spending the day with the Renault Owners Club, celebrating their 70th anniversary of the club. Now, to mark the occasion, Renault have kindly loaned the club their latest model, the new Renault Megane. Now, the new Megane is all electric. I've not actually been provided with a spec sheet on the car, so all I can really tell you is that it's a 160 kilowatt system, which should be good for a range somewhere in the region of about 280 miles. Now, I don't know what trim level this car is, but the new Megane range kicks off at just under £36,000. Now, just like a lot of new models that are out at the moment, the Megane is starting to look a little bit more SUV-like. So we've got quite a high bonnet line here. We've got this gloss black around these wheel arches and the sills of the car, along with this sort of grey rubbing strip at the bottom there. So it does give the car a very chunky appearance. We've got this sort of floating roof design here with this gloss black, which does actually look quite nice on the car. Rear door handles concealed in this pillar here. Keyless entry. I've got the card in my pocket, and as I've approached the vehicle, it's popped this door handle open for me to be able to get inside. Now, Renaults always were a comfortable place to be, and to what I can gather, this new Megane seems to be no exception. So yeah, actually sat in the car, it does feel very much like a conventional car. You can sit quite low in the car, which is something I do like. Bags of headroom as well though, and if you really wanted, you could probably jack the seat up quite high. Steering wheel, we've got a lot of controls on here. I thought they were actually touch sensitive, but no, sort of conventional buttons, which is probably a good thing. We've got this button here, multi-sense, which stands out. I don't know if that's to do with driving modes and things. As I say, I haven't been given a lot of information on this car. We still seem to have some form of the Renault radio controls here behind the wheel, which I know some people loathe. I actually really like that. I find them quite intuitive, and the fact that they basically stay in the same place, so you always know where they are. There is quite a lot going on behind here though. We've got some paddles here behind the steering wheel. Obviously, being an electric car, it's not like an internal combustion engine where you might have those for gear changes. I think we've got a symbol there. I think this could be something to do with the battery, maybe for the regenerative braking. Maybe if you know, drop me something in the comments. Gear selector above that. Something you are quite aware of is the screens in this car. So basically we've got this bank of screens that span right across behind the driver and then wrap around into this sort of driver focused central area. Piano key buttons for your heating controls in the middle of there. Again, some nice physical buttons which I do like, meaning you're not having to go through lots of menus on the screen to change things like the temperature. A couple of vents mounted either side there. It's quite nicely laid out. Now the car does have a black headliner, which is something I've never been a fan of, but because we've got this grey fabric on the dashboard, something I've not really seen since like the Mark III Espace, and then this lovely grey fabric on the seats as well. Now we've got what looks to be like a half leather. I know Renault are sort of quite big into sustainability. I'm not actually sure what this is. I don't think it's traditional leather. Big armrest in the middle here. We've got a few little cubby holes, a cup holder, bags of space down in this centre console as well. Again, there's no sort of transmission or anything to take space up there. So we've got a fixed cup holder, and then we've got another one that appears to be adjustable, so you can alter that depending on the size of your cup, or if you want to remove them, you've got a massive storage space down there in the middle of the car as well. Glove box again is a good size. It seems that Renault have not filled that with a fuse box, which is often the problem on a lot of right-hand drive versions of European cars. The back of the car accessed by these handles at the top of the door here. Really nicely done actually. You've got a little cutout, and then this entire panel here at the back of the door is the door handle, so quite cleverly concealed. Seems to have a nice wide opening. Let's just have a quick check, see what we like. Right, now, legroom itself isn't bad, headroom is very good indeed, but one thing I have noticed is the seat. With that seat lowered down quite low, which is how I drive, I can't actually get my toes under the seat, which does make the car feel a lot more cramped than what it probably should be. Mind you, if the seat was further forward or, crucially, a little bit higher up, I think I would be quite comfortable in here. One thing I'm surprised about though is this particular version doesn't have a centre armrest, which is quite unusual because I know a lot of Meganes going all the way back to Mark II do tend to have a centre armrest in here. But we've got things like ventilation down here. We've also, crucially, got a couple of USBs. Now they appear to be USB-C ports as well, which will be great for the kids, obviously. The new Megane being a very technological sort of car, your kids will want to plug their iPads and phones and things in back here. Good thing being a USB-C as well is they should charge at quite a high rate as well. With a lot of modern cars as well, the wheel sizes are getting forever bigger. We've got 20-inch wheel design on this car. They do actually look quite well, I think, because of the car's dimensions as well. They do seem to fit quite nice. I'm not always a fan of huge wheels because of the compromises in ride quality, but I know a few years ago with the sort of latest generation of the Scenic, I think they actually developed a tyre purposely for that wheel, so you had the larger diameter, but you still had some tyre profile to make the ride a little bit more compliant. Generally larger wheels have a very low profile tyre and are often more for sort of performance vehicles. Around the back of the Megane here, very much like the Mark IV Megane, we seem to have continued with this light strip design. Again, it's something a lot of manufacturers seem to be doing at the moment. But yeah, really interesting looking car. It is a very, very brief overview. As I say, unfortunately, I'm not on the insurance to drive this car, and I haven't got all the information to really do a thorough in-depth review, but nonetheless, I've enjoyed having a look at it and been able to show you this car today as well. Obviously, this 5th generation is quite an evolution from the Mark I Megane that I actually own myself. But yeah, very interesting having a look round, and who knows, maybe one day I will get to have a driving one and give you a little bit more information about this car. Until next time, do make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss some of the future videos that are coming up, and I'll leave some links at the end of here as well if you want to click on one of those and maybe see a video of the event today or perhaps something else that's on the channel. Until next time, it is goodbye from me.